when you are among people studying and doing things which are not able to resonate with? How do you feel when you believe that you want to and can do something special and different, but no one believes in you? Hailing from a place in Rajasthan, Alwar, this human being was studying in Kota and he realized that this place is not for him. He was feeling lost because he wanted to do something different in life. He was looking to create his own identity in this world in some way or the other. Nothing small satisfied him, which actually did not add value to his life. A consistent hunger and a constant bug bite to explore and experiment what he can create and contribute to in this world led him to the domain of cybersecurity. But was the road smooth? Absolutely not. Started off with a project of free Wi-Fi, ran out of cash, ran it for 8 months, went into debt of rupees 48 lakhs, entered into the IT services like web development, but services for Patanjali, Indian Railways, etc. to cover up for their losses. Then came up with social Wi-Fi solutions. Started off with selling to 11 or 12 restaurants in just 45 days. And came to the realization that cybersecurity is the next big thing and required in the lives of people in some form or the other during this time. In April 2017, came up with this unified platform of cybersecurity named WiJungle. From a debt of rupees 48 lakhs to 3,300% growth, changing the outlook in this industry. Getting featured in Forbes, this human being is truly intensifying humanity to his best possible extent. He is none other than Karmesh Gupta, the co-founder and CEO of WiJungle. So Karmesh, welcome to the podcast Intensify Humanity, and I'm really glad to have you here. You have been featured in some big names, plus your contribution is specifically, which is very notable feature, especially given the age you are in. So congratulations for all the achievements.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Somdutta, and thank you for having me on the podcast. It's really a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Karmesh, just to begin with, of course, I will not ask, how did it start, etc. You will, like, I want you to cover that aspect of your life when this first bug bite happened, when you wanted to go into the domain of cybersecurity. But the main thing I want to listen from you is what are the biggest challenges you faced when you were trying out different things in your life?
Absolutely. I think my life took the turn when I joined LNM IIT, which is my alma mater, right? I joined LNM IIT on July 27th, 2012. And that was the moment where I had a lot of remorse because I could not, you can say, secure a good rank in JE or maybe Triple E, and wasn't able to crack into NITs or IITs. And I was full of like a kind of remorse that this place is not meant for me. But in true sense, you get to realize whether this place is meant for you or not when you pass that phase, and when you can say go ahead in your future and try to look back, and then you get to realize that something happened for good. So I entered in LNM IIT. I chose CSE, and it was, I think, our third day. I get to see a large poster of A3 size poster all across the campus of an event called Changing Tomorrow, right? Definitely when I entered into the college, this was one of the mindset which I had, that definitely I have to make a difference now. I've already lost a lot, and this is a time I'll definitely put my 200% in order to make sure that I get the best out of my life. I stand apart from the crowd. So that was the time when I saw this poster. This was all about the youth summit, and there were lot many people invited in that, around 23, 24 speakers. Like Fanindra Sama was there from Redbus, Sanjeev Bikhchandani, Ira Trivedi, Javed Jaffrey, Varun Grover. Lot many other big names were there, and there was another name called Saket Modi. And that was the time I wasn't aware that he's our alumni. Like he's in fact our senior. He wasn't alumni at that given point in time. He was in his fourth year. And one of my batchmate told me in the evening time, like, who is this guy? I said, no, I am really not aware. There's a name called Saket Modi, and ethical hacker is the kind of position which he has been, you can say, kind of highlighted with. So he told me, like, he's in our fourth year. He has been taking across the cybersecurity trainings for students and the corporates for the last 2.5 years. He has taken it in IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, and a lot many other big places. So I think that's the point which actually gave me a hint and give me a click and instinct that this guy has actually something to do what I also carry inside me. He's really a senior in terms of what I really want to be, right? He is doing what I want to be. He is making out his place in the world. So that's the point where cybersecurity, or I would say entrepreneurship, was something which came to my I think I would say attention, and I got the mindset like, okay, I think this is something which seems interesting and something could be tried out in this particular domain. So this is how actually the, you can say, kind of journey started. Further, I would say, like, I started exploring a lot of things. I really didn't have idea like how to make out the career in cybersecurity, and it wasn't the case that I was in, you can say, very friendly terms with Saket because he was senior. There used to be a lot of gap between junior and senior. Moreover, he used to travel, roam around the country, so not much interaction. So I figured out myself how exactly it has to be taken forward. Meanwhile, whatever was coming in my way, I was taking it up. I was doing it just for the learning and experience side because I knew, like, if you want to be a leader or if you want to be an entrepreneur, you really have to have the as many experiences as you can. That's something which will going to build up your strength and your decision power. So I remember, like, it was the second semester. It was 2nd January 2013, and I wrote my first business plans. That was all around the taking the e-commerce platform for automobile. I discussed it with my few of my batchmates. Like, people in second semester is all about like what my peer is doing. So I always tell this to multiple people. It always comes like where exactly you are sitting. For an example, what kind of ecosystem you are living with. So, for example, I was the person who got this opportunity that my average peer age group was somewhere around 35 or 40. I used to sit with those people who had their kids studying in 7th, 8th standard, who were really successful, who did and built something, and then are actually enjoying the perks of their life. So that was the learning, or that's the mindset which I got from those people. What exactly life wants from you? What's the kind of matured action you need to take? While if you look my other colleagues in the batchmate, they were all about like how their decisions were getting made. Their decisions were getting made. What's the person next to the room is doing. So that's a decision which is coming from a similar peer group. So 21 age, 20 age guy taking the inspiration and you can say kind of decisions based on what the other 20 age guy doing. While I'm doing something which is from an age group which has seen the entire journey, who have been successful and who know what the life means. So that's the difference where the maturity starts building within yourself and you take the right decision in your life. So people didn't pay a heed to what I actually thought about. And then the Rajasthan Royal thing happened. So that was again one of the fabulous journey I had, and I think a lot of learnings around how exactly things work within the corporate world or professional world, and how to build your reputation, how to carry yourself in the market, or in terms of like when you represent the company. So in between this, I'll tell you a anecdote. Factor is I was so involved in so many things. I was involved in 7 8, you can say college societies, or you can say cells. Like, I was a part of entrepreneurship innovation cell, then doing the drama. In fact, I was really keen towards doing and trying art also, then coding aspect, multiple other. So, and parallelly, I was working with Lucidius. I was also working with one of the edtech company called Decent Solution. So this was one of the early age companies who were building the ERP around education. And I was so much involved that I got you can say, F grade in one of the subject. And that's the only F grade I have in my entire BTech. And I realized that, see, you ran so far, so fast that you wanted to achieve so many things. But what you are doing, you are losing the same thing. Like, you're not able to do what the other people are able to do, and what's actually required at the moment. That's like getting the grades, right grades, passing out every subject with a good mark, so that you can complete your BTech. If you will try to diverse yourself into the other direction, this part, which is the core part, will going to leave behind. So that's the only F I got, and it was so surprising to me, so unfortunate. When I taught people that subject, they got C or D grade, and I got the F grade. And that's the surprise which came to me, and that was the first time made my mind, see, I'm running so fast in life, but what to do next? This is something which is a very, very big shame. I can't tell it to like somebody at home. And I'll share one instance. In fact, I gave some bribe to the person who used to actually dispatch the grade sheets. So please don't ship it. Please don't ship it. It will going to ruin the entire thing. I'll not be able to do what I am doing if I somebody at my home get to realize that he has got a F grade, and my mother didn't get this particular knowledge till I passed out. So thankfully, this was something which actually helped me to try things. So that was one of the kind of thing which actually takes you back with the motivation, which make brings your entire energy down. Then secondly was like I when I started HTTP card, there was so much of energy we both had. There was so much of, you can say, right amount of capital we had. Praveen has his own saving, and I had my own. And when we started this free Wi-Fi, this was in kind of collaboration or association with the Rajasthan government as well. So when we started it, there was a lot of buzz around, like radios covering us on daily basis, because that was something which was really unique, and we were the first Indian private company to do so. So 1st April 2015 was the time when we started it. Lot of you can say buzz around the city. We in fact got good amount of traction. But when we were actually closing it down 8 months later, so that 48 lakh pile up, when we saw in our Excel that, see, this is what the loss we have built up. Every single kind of perk you enjoyed in the media is altogether a different side of the story. Don't fall, or don't actually get you can say kind of fell to these kind of things. This is not the realistic world. The realistic world is making the money, right, and making the right amount of money, which actually helps people to live a good life. So 48 lakh was something which was again a point where we didn't had any clue how to move forward. That was the second, I would say, kind of obstacle in our life, that what to do next. We had a team of 6 people, including both the founders, and we never fired anyone in our life. That's the truth, because we hired those people who had a similar kind of energy, and thankfully that turned out to be true even after they joined, and even the journey they had with us. So we thought, like, what to do, and how to get out of this situation. So that situation between 2015 July or August till 2016, and in fact it was you can say went on till 2017 also, when we didn't had the, you can say, cash to pay the electricity bill of the office. Electricity bill of 1300. So that used to come up like, which credit card has to be swiped now, or to whom shall I ask for this 1300 bucks? So that was a real situation. There have been multiple times where I just had purchased a, you can say, brown bread of 35 rupee in the morning with a half a kilo milk, and I used to have that the entire day. And it has happened with us multiple times, and Praveen knows it. I know it. I have been a person who has been living in the office for the last 5 years, right? This is the first time I have been at my home for such a long period due to the COVID, and thanks to it. Like, otherwise, I have been in the office 24 by 7 for the last 5 years. I haven't moved anywhere, probably apart from the events or apart from the summits or any other kind of work or kind of projects. Uh, so that was the part which actually kind of I would say disturbed both of us mentally a lot. We weren't able to express what we both were going through. People used to come to us on first of month, sir, our salary, and we used to both look at our face, what to do, who would give the money to us this month. Try to find out a person in our life whom we have not, you can say, bought the money, or we have not requested for. We used to see our network, who is the potential worthy guy who can actually lend up this kind of money to us, because our customers will pay next to next month. These 2 months we really need to pay the salary, and we need to carry off with the kind of you can say cash flows or operational expenses. So those were the time. I think that's something which I myself know, like, we and Praveen, how we have managed it out. 2018 was a time which still got better when we started having this product and used to go into the market, have the cash, and then things started moving on. So we hired more people and built up a team, and it went well, absolutely went well. But I think in between, these were, and even on day-to-day basis also, you get come across a lot many situations. Like, we hired a sales head for us last year. He left after 2 months, and as he was like at a very very high pay, so entire loss to us. 2 months nobody converts something into the sales, and he left. These things will keep on happening, that they have kept on happening. I can give you 25 different instances where they have given us a setback every time, and we have pulled it off and said, like, it's a part, it will happen. It's happening with us now, it's giving us a more concrete base to build up. So that's how the journey has been till yet.
Great, awesome. Like I was just visualizing like a movie happening in front. This is happening, then failing again, and then getting up, asking money from them, not having money to pay the bills, food, etc. So, in all these ups and downs and so many roadblocks, etc., what is that one thing that kept you going?
It's just I want to be successful, super successful. See, I have taken birth in Alvar, that's fine. But where I will die, it's all up to in my hands. And that's what I always believe in, that your success lies in your hand. You decide what you have to do, and then you will able to go through it. If you don't have a hard goal or a hard, you can say, mission or an objective to achieve, you'll not be able to. So I have this mission. I really see, I'll tell you one of the instance, and I'll tell you very very common, generic characteristic or intrinsic feature which you'll find in all the successful people. I think that's not something which starts when they build up their companies of 100 and 200 cr, or maybe $1 billion company. That's within them from the day one, maybe within their, since their childhood also. It was 2013, right? It was October 2013, and cultural fest was there in our college, and Javed Ali was the having happy had a concert of Javed Ali. I was the organizing committee in the organizing committee of that cultural fest, and I, trust me, this thing, I've never stand in the crowd. Even some concert has happened or something has happened, I've either not gone or even has not standed over there. Where I was standing back at the side, just at the end of the concert, at the end of the ground, where their Javed Ali team was sitting up. They were doing the you can say playing with the sound thing, and I stood up there entire time, 2.5 hours and 3 hours, and I've never been to the crowd because, factor one, I have been so sincere and serious about what I'm doing. I have been I'm aware what exactly is my target focus. I'm aware what the life really takes you through if you really want to be successful. And that's the point which gave me a realization that what's the difference between the other guys who are just in their first year, just came from the home, dancing over there, like they are crazy about, oh, Javed Ali, yo. I'm seriously, like, I used to think like how immature these people are, and I've never stood in that crowd. What's the difference between them and I have been struggling. I've been, since my college days, I've been working around 16 17 hours a day. What's the difference between them and me? They spend 16 17 hours watching a movie. They're standing over there. That's not the place where I will stand at the back, and I was the only person standing over there. I enjoyed the entire thing, but I was standing all together at a different reason, because I know the kind of craziness they have for this guy. It's just because they know that they cannot be at this place. Understand this fact in a very true sense. You can only be clapping for someone for 2.5 minutes if you realize that you cannot be the same guy in the future or at any given point in time in life. If you know what's your real worth, you'll clap for some time, and at the end you will have a jealousy inside that I really want to be there. This guy is there. He's at there at this age of 45. I'll be there at this same place at the age of 35. And you're not going to clap for more than 30 seconds. You know, it's good. There's so much of learning, but you will take that learning as a challenge, and you will be try to be better than that guy. You will compete with that guy. And that's the you can say intrinsic feature you will find in all the successful people who have been working around. Even if you will say MS Dhoni performing well, Virat Kohli not feeling inside good. To be honest, he also want that kind of respect from the India, and he tries to learn and everything. But at the end, he will not going to say that I am Virat Kohli and I'll keep on clapping for MS Dhoni. No, he really want to go up above what the standard has been set by MS Dhoni, and it's the case with everyone. So that's the case. Like when I see them, there's nothing to be ho and how and exclaiming about wow and all those factor. I know I someday or the other I will be there, and this kind of crowd I'll be having some given point in time. May not be now, it could be 50, 60. You really don't know at what given point in time you'll be a superstar. I'll take an example because I think that lady, I think the old lady is from Odisha, who got the Padma Shri last year for planting so many trees. Was she aware that at the age of 70, 75 she will be a national star? No, she was doing it, but from the day one she might be having this kind of instinct. She might have been famous within the community she might be living around. Slowly and gradually it came to the attention of multiple people. It reached to the state level, reached to the national level. It took time, but the kind of desire she might be having would have been from the age of 20, 22, 25. Took her 40 years and then got a limelight. And people see that, okay, see, she has got the Padma. You don't know what she was going through for the last 40 years. She was waiting for this day. So this is something which is a true fact. So I think this part has to be realized, that what's the real value of you, and then you have to accordingly take the action. You can't be anything and doing anything and everything. You don't realize your value, then you'll not be able to pinpointedly come to a conclusion. I think that's the thing which has made me go through and you can say travel the journey, and I'll be traveling it till the time I'm alive.
When you started sharing that thing, that what happens when you actually were never there in the crowd, and what is this intrinsic feature of these kind of people who have a constant fire burning within them, I could immediately resonate with that. Reason is because when I look back now, since my childhood, like schools, colleges, or offices, anywhere, it is just a small example, like any events or any kind of initiative, I was never in the audience, never ever. So it is like not just being in the backstage or something, but I can totally understand where it is coming. Some people might say by listening to this that, oh, you can't encourage anybody. That's not the case. You encourage the person in front, plus you also strive to reach that position that you want. So this is absolutely true, and this is something that when people actually realize that, they may want to unleash their own potential as well. So a
Correct.
great insight. I can totally relate to that. So thanks, Karmesh, for sharing that. So the next question related to this is, you started WiJungle, and it's like a cybersecurity platform. Given in this age, I mean, there, I don't know if there is any life without internet. So, of course, I won't ask you what's the scope of it, but I would ask you, what are the most grievous t- cases that you have come across, or what is the most weirdest thing that you have come across in this experience?
Security,
Yes.
specifically customer side, or
Yes.
okay, I think we have been dealing into the B2B aspect. So B2B, you're not going to see much. I would say those exciting kind of situations, just like you will see it in the B2C case when consumer security is being considered, that this is how something got trapped and this is what happened to them. That keeps on happening in my personal life. I keep on getting at least, maybe I would say, 2 to 3 or 4 calls a month from different people in my network, that this has happened to us and that has happened to us, and how could you help us in it. But otherwise, in our journey at the consumer side, that's not that exciting, because it's all about kind of you can say putting up the or deploying the product in a rightful manner, such that it gives them the good amount of protection. But uh, having said that, if we talk from the perspective how things have actually been into our journey, entrepreneurial journey, then definitely there could be, we can say, multiple instances which I can actually share with you, but exactly not from the you can say technical cybersecurity problem point of view.
Yeah, please share one at least.
Okay, so I think if you look about when we started this part, right? The kind of product we have. So this is something which people don't realize that it can be built by a small team also, right? And so we were very few people in the team who were doing the entire, who were playing, or you can say kind of running the entire show at the back. So even at the partner place, right, when it comes to large partners who are working with us, probably they might know that how many people are working at the back and how fiercely they are working. But it's like the kind of undue advantage we are able to take over there in terms of how they perceive a OEM to work and how they are working and how we are working and how the kind of you can say value they give to us. That's something which is super exciting. And there are in fact multiple instances which can come to my mind. But yeah, I'll definitely talk about them as soon as we take the conversation forward. If something will I have multiple things, but something which is super, you can say, crazy kind of thing, that I'll definitely share.
Yes, because there's a question that is already there in my mind, like what is the craziest thing you have done till now, or maybe has happened to you in life, apart from what you have already shared in the story in your journey?
Craziest thing which I've done a lot. I've done a lot. uh, I would say, I think like the initial 11 years of my life were in a small town called Kerthal, right? That's the time which gave me a lot of experience and exposure. Like I tried everything. So I'll tell you a small instance. Like since the childhood, I have been doing multiple nuances, and uh, so uh, like when I used to actually go to my school, there was a railway crossing in between, right? I'm just sharing in this like how exactly I have been playing around with the things. And so in the evening time, I actually used to cross that you can say crossing and the railway track, and I used to go to my friend's house and we used to play around. That's the time when I realized what happens when a train actually passes by, like, and if I put something onto the track, would it going to stop or would it going to actually pass by? That's the point. First I tried it with by some soft thing. So we had this a rubber ball in two parts. I put it over there, the train passed, and it went very well. I said nothing happened, this is not giving me a fun, this is not actually exciting me, let's do something. Then I put a small marble onto the top of the track, and let's see how exactly it will going to. It could have led to an accident, like what a big accident it could have led to be honest. And people might discourage this kind of activity, but that's the kind of mindset I had. And then let's see what exactly happens. The train passed away, and that also crashed into the small you can say powder kind of format. Then I said, like, it's not happening, let's put a larger stone now. Then I took at least 5 or 8 kgs of stone and put that onto the railway track. This time also train came up, and that stone actually, we were observing it, and that stone actually got, I think broken into the 4 or 5 pieces, and all those 4 or 5 pieces actually kind of took a projectile motion and went into the different directions. So one of my friend told me, see, you know what you have done. The person who is sitting at the railway crossing, who is actually managing that fatak wala part, he has seen you and he's running behind you. And that's the moment I got scared. For around two and a half hours, I was just trying to hide here and there. And my friends were actually playing the prank around. See, he's coming from there, that guy is coming from there, and I've seen him, he's around this, and he has also got the police now. So two and a half hours, so it was 5 or 5:30 in the evening. It was till 8:15. My mother and father were roaming around. Where is he actually? He tried, like, they tried to call my friend's mom and father. They said he was here, but we also don't know where they are. And it was like 8:30, around 9 in the night, where my friends told me now he has gone. And they even told me that they are playing a prank. They said, like, he has gone now, and now you can go. And in fact, while I was crossing that road, I was super careful that if he now sees me, he will going to catch me. So I had that kind of hanky in my hand, and I put that onto the face, slowly and gradually passed that section, reached 9:30 at home. So got a lot of, I would say, pitai at the home, where it was like such a miserable situation that I could not even sleep. I got scolded for at least half an hour, 45 minutes. And in the morning, when I went to the school, they told me, see, he was playing with you. It was just a prank. And I was like, what the bloody hell you guys are? You are the part of the you're my partner in crime. You were also doing the same thing, and then you played against me only. So these kind of nuance thing I have done in my childhood, and there are multiple instances. Like, I got the opportunity to, you can say, drive a tractor. So it was back in fifth class. Okay. And that's the instance which is like, in our village. So I took the tractor from the driver. So he went for, I think, for loo or something, and I went onto the steering. I put it into the gear. I knew how it has to be driven. I was observing him day and night how exactly he's doing it. So it was summer vacations at that given point. So, and what happened was, like, till the time he could notice, I actually put the gear and took it away. I took it onto the road, onto the main road, and you will not realize, I drove it for around 2.5 kilometers. And when he came back, it was like he get to me, like, something is happening, kuch to hua hai, like, I can hear the noise of the tractor going around, but he wasn't sure that I could drive it. I took that onto the road for 2.5 kilometers. I was just traveling it straight because I didn't know how to turn it off, because there used to be two pedals which you have to be unsure about, that when you press this, you can turn it in a very safer way. So those kind of things I have done. And 2.5 hours, like, after you can say, kind of going straight over there, he came onto the motorcycle, chased me for at least 3 kilometers, and then he get to see that, what are you doing? So those kind of things I've tried in my life, and I'm really happy that I got those privileges. These things have actually made me super strong and super confident, and very, very open to enjoy my life in the way I want to be. I've sold gutka, to be honest, in at the age of, I would say, 8 or 9. So there used to be shop in, like, in front of our house, and wherever you used to go, maybe for lunch or dinner, you used to say, okay, can you take care of her? It was a small 30 kind of thing, which we say in Hindi. And I've done those things also, like, lot many other aspects involved, but this is the kind of life I have lived, and still, I do it. I do, and I keep on, you can say, having this kind of, you can say, kind of, ups and downs, or the kind of energy in my life, where I keep on experimenting.
Hence proved most of the notorious kids, actually most of them become successful and they become more intelligent. This
and
is like, yeah,
and one more
that's
point is, like, they will become more intelligent if they are coming from, I would say, small town. So there they would have seen so many things in their childhood that even a tier 2 or tier 1 kid cannot. They will not be actually aware of those things.
agree. And this is practical, like this is time and again proved and proved. Like if you're a very pampered child, if you're a very like good child, good in studies and this and that, and never experienced in life, those kids actually when they grow up they actually face the worst in terms of,
Hmm.
because they don't know how to handle situations and all these things happen. So amazing experiences. Thanks for sharing that, Karmesh. So next I would like to ask you that What is that one thing about Karmesh that nobody else know till now? What would you like to share with our audience which nobody else knows till now?
I have been taking notes around how would I would going to actually take care of my kids since the age of 18.
Since the age of 18.
So I've been
Okay.
taking the notes in my diary. What exactly I have to tell him? What exactly I will not tell him, and how exactly things have to be moving. Because I realize I saw Shah Rukh, right, and I get to see like how good he is at parenting, and how good he is as a father. I kept on observing those things, and whatever I have learned in my life, this has to be done, this not has to be done. I've kept all those aspects in my diaries, that this is something which I'm going to tell my kids. This has to be, and this doesn't have to be.
That is really sweet, and that is very, very uncommon. So that is amazing. I'm sure you will actually implement those things.
I'm not sure like when, but yeah, let's see. But
So, how
definitely
did
I
you
would.
get this inspiration of writing about your children? Like, what are you going to tell them in your diary, or you started journaling? Where did this idea come from, or what inspired you to do that?
See, the very basic thing over here is I have learned many of the things in my life by my own, or I have learned it from Shah Rukh. Though he doesn't know me, right? He might not know me throughout the life, but he has helped me in multiple ways. He has been kind of given a virtual father assistance to me. I've listened to him throughout how to exactly lead your life, how to exactly live your life. Every single kind of action he takes, that's so perfect. Those so perfect that that's what actually has made him like 3.5 billion people loving Shah Rukh Khan across the globe, and biggest movie star in the world. I lost my father at the age of 10, right? At the age of 14, when I was in my 10th standard, right? And I think that's the age where you need the maximum assistance from your parents, and you really want to know what exactly you should choose in further studies, how to take things forward, what kind of career would it be, and what should be done, what should not be done. When you go to multiple counselings, you have to go anywhere in the town or any other place or any other city, you need your parent, right? That's the place where I kind of miss that kind of feeling, or those moments. I wish I could have lived, but I hope that I fulfill this kind of thing for my children, right? Whenever they come, whatever I have missed in my life, whatever the assistance, best things, or the, you can say, kind of guidance which, or mentorship which could have come from my parent, my father, I really want that I could pass on all those things to my kids in the best possible way at the right age. Because I may or may not live, but if they have those things available, at least these things will be helpful to them throughout their life.
That is so beautiful and powerful, because when you also mentioned that how important it is also for a person to learn things on his or her own. Actually, life throws various things to you from different angles, and you don't know what is happening, so you learn in the best possible manner in that way. So
Correct.
it's so good to see a person like you in that age who actually lost his father, instead of going in some kind of wrong pathways which most of the children actually go through without guidance, etc. You actually made it into something positive and big. So really commendable. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Right, great, awesome. So do you also intend to write a book? You have some amazing
Yes, I
experiences to
thought.
share.
Yes, I thought of it. I thought of it, but writing a book comes when you are, have some sort of, you can say, popularity in terms of what you have done in life. So I realized that it's not the right age. I should give some, you can say, time to it. Probably maybe 2.5 years from now, I would really be looking forward. And I shared this instead. So I was actually creating a. I was doing a digital marketing for one of the author, uh, and he's a very very good author. Has written 4 5 books in and around Indian geopolitics conditions, and different political parties' opinions and those aspects. So I shared with him for the first time that, see, I'm writing this book, and so these are the 7 aspects which I'm trying to cover. Then he suggested, yeah, see, I think you should take some time because it's important. It's just not the book publishing, it's important from the selling aspect also.
But I'm sure the book is going to be amazing. So, all the best beforehand for your book.
I really don't know like how exactly it will going to happen, but for sure I'll be doing it. At least I'll be writing throughout my life. I'm a very very good writer when it comes to expressing thoughts and expressing inside things onto the paper or onto the words. I'm more good in
Amazing.
Hindi.
Okay.
So I'll also do it in Hindi part also, because majority of our population, the young population, is from the small town, are Hindi listeners or Hindi readers and Hindi speakers. So we'll make a more impact over there.
Amazing. That is just amazing. Superb. So, who's your favorite author? Do you read books in that aspect?
No, I don't read books often. That's honest. And I was telling this to somebody 2 to 3 days back also. They asked me like, what are your 3 favorite books? So I don't read them often. Uh, Honestly, I don't get time. I want to because that's one of the best thing you can do to yourself in order to, you can say, kind of gain the experience or kind of an understanding in the least possible time. Life will take time to make you understand, but books can actually teach you a lot. So I don't, but yes, now it's a time I have promised myself that this Diwali onwards, I'll at least try to complete a book in a quarter. I have in fact purchased 2 books yesterday itself.
Okay. We hope you complete that resolution as well. All
I
right.
would, I would. That's
Okay.
important now.
So, is there anything that you would like to share related to the cybersecurity aspect, or rather security aspect, that I know you deal in B2B thing,
Hmm.
but for the
Hmm.
general consumers to keep in mind, because common people are not aware of what goes on in the back end?
I think there are 7 points. I have narrated this multiple times, which people should be, you can say, kind of careful about. So these, see, cybersecurity from consumer aspect is all about awareness. There's no product which can actually safeguard you. Only product which you might see into the people system is antivirus. Apart from that, there's nothing which can be deployed and it can make you safe. So first and foremost aspect, very basic things, very basic 7 things. Uh, so in and around, if you are having an account onto the Gmail or onto the social media, how important it is to have two-factor authentication. These are very simple things. To be honest, people who are, you can say, onto the tech side, who are of my age or millennials, they will say, what a simple thing he's telling. But it's not about those people. They are absolutely safe. They know how to take care of things. It's about the people who are new to it. So among the group A, you will see it's majority of the people who are actually falling victim to it are, you can say, mid-age people who are above 45 and uh, are actually new to the smartphone or to the social media. Those are the people who are the most, you can say, falling, you can say, kind of victim to this kind of scenario. So this is for them. Like when you create a social media account, when you go into the Gmail, ensure that you create a very strong password. Don't keep your mobile number or your date of birth as the password, and please enable the two-factor authentication. That's super crucial. Whatever you get onto your WhatsApp or Telegram or maybe any of the chat platform, whether it's related to the shopping coupons or whether it's related to the multiple offer. So there might be a website which look like Paytm or Flipkart and Amazon, but that's a separate domain. That's a separate website. You will not recognize. You will not be able to identify. You might end up paying something onto that, and that will go to a fraudster. It will not be a genuine thing. So ensure whenever you are opening up a link, either refrain. If you are even opening up, ensure that you check the domain, the URL of that website, to ensure that, okay, yes, it's safe and I'm taking the right action. Third aspect over here is when it comes to your permissions to the mobile application. When you install a mobile applications, the kind of permissions you are giving to them, ensure they are at, at you can say minimum level, such that you are not sharing the multiple information with, you can say, and it's not going onto the different servers, because you don't know whose servers will be the next victim of the or next target of the hackers. So that's third. Fourth aspect is people who share their credit card number or debit card number for online shopping. So for an example, uh, your mother would have taken a debit card, and she wants that you purchase on her behalf. She might share the card details on WhatsApp, the entire card details, 16 digit thing, the CVV, the expiry date, all together over there on a single message or maybe multiple messages. Now imagine if that application, wherever you are doing it, maybe WhatsApp, maybe Snapchat, maybe Instagram, Facebook, wherever they are sharing, if that gets the control of a third party person, they can easily identify those, you can say, credit cards and debit cards, and they can do the shopping. And you won't even realize where I never shared these kind of card details. And so whenever you do it in a very safer way. Share the card number onto the WhatsApp. If you want to share the CVV, tell him on the phone. If you have to share the expiry date, share it onto the text message. So these three different items, three different variables, or you can say text fields, need to be shared across three different platforms so that it doesn't make meaning to any one of them. That very small thing, which people again become a victim to. Fourth aspect is about how you are actually uh, going onto the website, freeware websites, and downloading something from there. So, or downloading something from your email. That's again a crucial part. So if you download a PDF, somebody, I'll tell you what has happened during this COVID. And when I say, like, I've been getting 4 to 5 calls a month on an average in regards to this has happened to us and this has happened to us. Uh, like people who are working, let's say, in a government job, there will be an email address which has been created from the name of the head of the department. Everyone is getting that mail, and that mail has a PDF file, which they might see that some notice or circular might have come in regard to the COVID. They will just download it in, and it's a ransomware. Immediately their system will get encrypted, and they will have to pay the ransom to a third party in order to get the entire data back. So very small thing, and you fall prey to it. Like, uh, again, fifth aspect, and one of the, I would say, important aspect, when you actually go to the airports or wherever you do a USB charging, it's something which people might not have given the notice to. It's called juice jacking, right? Juice jack. So that's where you charge your mobile from a USB port, and that USB port has some sort of script or some sort of malware sitting inside it, and it can take away the data from your mobile phone. You will not even realize. So very common thing, when you go to any of the public place, wherever you are, whether it's onto the airport, railways, bus stands, metros, keep care of this, or maybe sitting at a maybe I would say outlet, coffee shop or something. Sixth aspect is onto the free Wi-Fi, which is a big game in India. So most of the free Wi-Fi's are not secured. So when you try to log in, make sure you are not opening up any bank related website on such kind of networks, or any kind of website which can harm you financially, right? So ensure you don't do those things. If you have to do, switch on your 4G and then do it. Uh, for other activities, definitely you can utilize it in a safer way. But for these kind of things, it's not safe, because somebody who is also connected onto the network can run a software and can easily trace your packets. And information within the internet world travels in form of packets. So they can read those packets and they can get a lot of information around. So this also happens in various of the places. Then I would say sixth, seventh point in this side is about keeping care of your information which you are saving into your system. People share all their user IDs and passwords, maybe in a single file, or people are saving it onto a mobile phone and on a single, I would say, note kind of thing, where they have written all the passwords. This is my user ID for this is my password, this is my user ID, this is my password. So you don't know, like, at what given point in time that will be hacked, that will be taken control over, and everything is out. Everything is out. So ensure these kind of things don't happen to you. Very basic things, but this will help you to prevent or safeguard yourself 99% of the time.
Wow. I mean, I hope everyone is listening to this particular point, especially because these are like everyday people do something or the other related to this, and people are not even aware about. And that's the most
Yeah,
irony. I mean, anywhere people are traveling, whatever is happening, every damn thing that you mentioned is very, very, very common in every home almost.
correct.
So it's high time that we start taking ownership of that and become a little bit more responsible so that we
Yes.
don't suffer
In
ourselves.
fact, this is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Oh,
So
wow.
if people take this as an awareness, then it will definitely going to decrease the number of cases which are happening around.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karmesh, for sharing these things in a very simplified manner. And I hope everyone who are listening right now, please ensure that all the 7 points that he mentioned, you please take care of it very, very carefully because we do that every day in and day out. So your security is in your own hands. So, yeah, thank you, Karmesh, for sharing that. Another thing I would like to ask you is if not an entrepreneur, what would Karmesh be?
Three important things which I could have been and I'm good at. I would have been a bureaucrat. I would have definitely given the exam for IAS or something. Second aspect, I would have been a journalist. I definitely won't take away your job, but I'll add something on top of that. Third aspect is I would have been an artist in one form or the other. There are multiple ways which can be done. I'm good at music. I'm good at writing things. I'm good at drama. I'm good at singing. So any of the things. So these three things. Apart from that, there's nothing, no object or no particular agenda I can find in my life to live with.
Well, that's amazing because I love the third part, especially in the terms of the arts domain. And by the way, I am not a journalist. I only take interviews of
So
people on my podcast. So basically, I'm a mentor and a coach. So that's where
yeah,
it comes into picture. But yes, I'm sure that you would definitely fit into those roles in amazing manner.
I'll
Apart from if
definitely
you
try.
will.
I'll definitely try. I'll definitely try. It will not be happening that I die and I don't try these. I'll be doing them at any given point in time. So maybe 5 years from now, I'll be slowly and gradually doing it.
That is amazing. Superb. And how can our listeners connect with you, Karmesh?
They can reach out to me any place. I am available on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,
So
anywhere.
any handle or any specific name they
Yeah,
should look up
majorly
to?
it's if you go into Twitter, it's Karmesh Gupta directly. Onto the LinkedIn again, it's same Karmesh Gupta. Onto Facebook, it's Karmesh Gupta .1. On Instagram, it is I am KAGS. I am KAGS. So any of the place you can reach out.
Awesome. So thank you everyone for listening to this, and I hope you will start implementing these stuffs from today onwards. And it was lovely and so fun talking to you, Karmesh. And I wish you all the best in all your endeavors and whatever roles and projects you take up on in your life, and plus your also dreams about writing about your children, what you are going to tell them as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So amazing. Thank you so much. So that was Karmesh Gupta, who is not just helping out people in terms of cybersecurity and safety aspect in different manners, but also intensifying humanity through various possible means. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode and keep intensifying humanity to your best possible extent. Thank you.